wanted to jump back a little bit on the double cab hoop set project, and I got interrupted several times and ended up not filming a lot of this process, but I wanted to kind of focus back on it again and kind of make a few points and bring up a few mistakes, and if I were to do it again, what I wouldn't do, kind of thing. The piece that goes here, this outer channel piece, and you can see it's just a channel, I took to a fabrication place up in Whiteland, Indiana, which is just north of Indianapolis. Midwest metal fabricators, awesome guys, awesome price, turnaround time was excellent, super happy with how those turned out. And then I had fabricated these pieces that are on the truck bed and the 1-inch thin wall, and then I just sleeved and welded a 3/4 square tube onto my channel, and then that drops down into my 1-inch bar. And I actually have a little bit of height here where if I wanted to raise this up, I could. These pieces here, this outer portion, is just flat bar, pretty flexible stuff. I just pretty much bent it with a pair of pliers and then just put it against my foot and kept bending until I got it about the bend that I wanted. And the reason that we want this here is because if you'll notice, the truck bed, and I've got this side folded down, but if you notice, the truck bed kind of kicks in a little bit there. So it's designed that way. It leans in to match the body of the truck. But what has to happen then is when you put your canvas on, we need just a little bit of that to kick out so it will line up and go over these grommets that are already welded onto the truck. Plus, it keeps the edges of the timber from rubbing into your canvas. And you can see I've tried to cut the pieces a little bit short so they'll tuck in under that. That one I missed. The rest of them are pretty good. This one's actually inside, but it's just barely inside. So that keeps the edges of your canvas from rubbing on that and gives it that nice form. It also gives you something when you lap your strap through on your canvas to tie through. So a few things I did wrong. Initially when I cut this piece, and this is just 2-inch angle, and to get that piece you just need to cut it, it's 4 inches. I put this dead center, so this point I put dead center. If you'll notice, my bar is slightly off. It's closer to the sidewall gate. So in hindsight, I should have angled that so that it came here so that my center peak would have been in the middle of my 1-inch support beam. But all in all, it looks okay. I can live with it. I'm not going to get too worked up about it. It's just a hoop set. This piece up here works fine like that. And then I took one of the corner pieces, sorry, the shadow's getting in there. One of the corner pieces I cut off here. That's what's actually welded here. This piece was very easy to figure out where the hole was. For this one, what I did was I just kind of eyeballed it, drilled that hole, put it up on the truck, then marked that one from the inside, because you can mark that, oops, sorry about that, that's this bolt right here. So that's easily marked with a Sharpie through there, and then you don't miss on that one. So I've drilled it from the back side. So I was at the Effingham Fun Fest show and got to see one of these in real life on a double cab, and height wise I'm pretty much dead nuts with what he had. So I thought if I can get my tape to cooperate here, this might be a two-hand job, no jokes. 30 inches is what I've got. Sorry about that. 30 inches is what I've got for this guy. And then height-wise, from the very top of here down to center of the truck bed, it's like I've got about 48 inches. So that's what I'm using, and in between each of these slats is about 10.5 inches, and that seems to work pretty well. I can measure this too for those that care to know. I know there probably aren't a lot of people out there manufacturing double cab hoop sets. But that's 5.5, and that should be 5.5 on each of those. And I believe this piece that's inside is about 8 inches. So I've got 3 inches of that sleeve down in here where I could adjust that. I did slide this angle over all the way to the edge. I thought that would help give it some stability on both sides. So I did do that. I thought I would show again this support system that I built for the table. Just uses the jack point, and my jack point is all jacked up, so I had to keep bending and tweaking that bottom piece to get it to where it would actually be level on top. And then this piece here just goes through where the overrider hole was on those those are not the right bumper. They're actually a deluxe bumper on this truck, so they had overriders on them. I don't have the stoppers on my gate, so my gate drops all the way down, so my overrider would hit if I had it on there. And then that just sleeves up into there, and I coated the bottom of those with like a that plasti dip, so these have like a rubberized coating on the end of them. I'll put the canvas set on there in just a few minutes, and we can look at that and see what that looks like. I don't have the back panel here or the panel that goes in front of the rear window. I don't have those done, but I have the top part and the sides done, and I even have the portions cut out for where it slides over those, so that is complete. So I'll throw that on here in a bit and we'll take a look at that. So the hours escaped me as always. Kiddo down to bed and getting all the life things that had to be done finished, and so I'm just now tossing this on there for your viewing pleasure, and it looks pretty cool. There's a string right there I need to cut, and I got a little bit too much overhang, I think, right there. I don't know, maybe I need to pull it the other way a little bit. Otherwise, pretty happy with the way that turned out. String there to cut, and I gotta go back and erase my lines, my pencil lines. And I just ran a bugs are gonna be really bad because I have the lights on. Just ran a tent stake from an old tent down this ridge here, and I think that really added a nice line. Keeps it really straight and up against the truck tailgate. Really nice. So I just have to pin in the ends and then figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm probably going to make a lash, stitch it here and lash it around and come up through and tie right there. It would be nice to make it where I didn't have to do that. And these are going to be down when the tailgate's up. I may be able to incorporate something when I do the back set. I don't know. Never made one of these before, so it's an experiment. Here's my boo-boo. I don't know if that's showing up or not, but cut that one a little too wide. So I'll have to cover that when I put my little leather grommet or whatever I'm doing around that. I'll have to cover that little boo-boo. But other than that, probably won't be able to see too well over on this side. Over here and see. I think it looks really, really nice on the inside though. And I'll have to cut out the glass area. Yeah, probably not be able to see it over here. Whoop. Another little boo-boo. One of these right there. Got that one a little long too. All in all, not too bad for a novice tarp maker. And I just ran a tent stake in that one too. And the nice thing about it is it'll allow it to kind of pop under that little hinge there. Put that in, and then I can just kind of pop that under. So if I could make a way for that to latch into something, that would be really nice. Alright, let's see how pinning those onto there goes. I think I'll try pinning the easy one on first. So for tonight, we end up with something that looks like that. Just a rough cut in of that. I'm going to get the shadow of the camera in there if I go in any further. Let's see if we can get a sneak peek inside. This camera will pick it up or not, but that's what it's going to look like inside. Pretty cool. But yeah, this is the tricky part. Fitting around all these little turns and bobbles. So there'll be a piece that comes around and lashes up there. And then there's going to be a piece sewn on here, come down, that will lap over and grab a hold of this piece. And what that'll allow to happen is this part can then be rolled up and the sides can be rolled up, so it'll actually be stitched together to about right there. And then the sides and the, wherever that first board is, right there. And I may just stitch it to the end of my flat bar. Probably makes the most sense. I think that's about as far as I'm going to get for tonight. Pin in the front one, and I still haven't decided if I'm just going to leave this a hot knife cut, because I don't need to actually tuck it in and hem it over. But it might look better if I did just a real small little hem all the way up, and then I could even that out there, so I may do that. Just kind of neaten it up a little bit. What you think? Hot knife it or hem it? It'd probably look more professional hemmed. I didn't hem the side seams though. I just left them a rough cut. I can get the ladder up there where you can see that. Just left those the hot knife cut. Nice thing about a hot knife cut is it's not going to unravel or anything. But, yeah, we'll see. I definitely need to even that out though. I don't like how that's hanging off. So regardless of what I decide to do, that probably would look a little better though. I did it like that all the way around. Let me try tucking that in and see what that looks like. Yeah, that was a lot better. I'm thinking that's the way to go with that. Certainly looks a lot more professional, a lot more finished. And it'll make the line easier to keep straight doing it that way. Not going off of a uneven edge. So we'll get that all figured out. And get the bottom figured out where we exactly need that. And I'm probably going to have to repin this a little bit and let some of that out, since this kind of tapers into that support there. But I'm liking that. I think that looks a lot more professional. So we'll go with it, and I'll probably readjust some here, a little bit off the pattern there. Suck some of that in. That could be kind of what's causing this bunch down here too. I am back on the truck canvas working on it finally, and I'm trying to just figure out exactly where I'm going to stop sewing. Push the camera up just a little bit. So I know I want to come around on the arch, but these sides are going to roll up. So I need at some point to stop sewing down. So I'm thinking this is about right, based on just playing around with moving the clips back and forth. I'm thinking that's pretty good. It's pretty close to what I'm looking for. And of course, I probably should roll it the other way when I do actually roll it up so that it won't want to fall back like this. And then I'll put the hoops strings to come down and catch that to tie that up, and I'll have to do 3 of them at least. I've got 3 clips on there and it's pretty floppy. So I'm thinking basically stop sewing around the bottom of this flat bar that I have here. So that'll come down and it'll be stopped right there. And we have to leave these 2 pieces unattached on the edges so that the sides can roll up independently. So what I'm saying is this one's going to roll up, oops, as well. So I've got to kind of figure that out. What I'm getting ready to go sew right now is this piece here, and obviously this is not pushed up all the way, so I need to work it down a little bit and figure out where that's going to go. But I'm thinking this part is about right, so I'm going to go in and attempt to stop stitching right there and stitch that arch here in just the next few minutes, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Alright, so I got that all sewed, and it actually wasn't nearly as bad as I was anticipating it to be. Got the holes cut for the bottom. Still need to stitch the pieces through that go through that. But turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Had to stop the stitch here, start the stitch here, because when it rolls up, obviously I need to have, I probably could have carried it through all the way, but the light's probably not going to show the stitching up on top. Let me see if I can get it maybe from this side. No. Shooting right into the light. But that's what we've got. I'm really happy with the way that top turned out. The arch looks really nice. I like that a lot. Looks good. And I am now pinning the top front piece here. I have all my pins in around the top, and this has to be pinned pretty frequently to get it to be straight. And I got actually a spot right there I seem to fix. But all in all, pretty happy with the way that's turning out. Let's drop this gate down. I'll show you maybe a little bit of what I'm doing on the inside. Love the rust as it settles down in. Never mind that. See if I can move those lights over just here. Yeah, it's never going to work the way you want it to. So there's what we've got inside. You can see that at all. Okay, so I've pinned that up on top, and we will sew that down and then work on what actually goes into the truck. And the unique thing about these trucks, if you've ever really paid attention, I don't know, you'll be able to see this with as dark as it's getting. Likely no, but pull this off. Maybe we can get some light right here. There's an arch, even to the bed in the center, that allows the water to run off down this rain gutter, and then you hope it pours down here. That's actually one of the reasons why the trucks often get rusted out and punky right here. And actually on mine, this side's not terrible, not too bad, but if we walk over to the other side, and this is probably going to be too dark for you to see, but this side's all punky, all rusted out. So what's happened is the water has run down the rain gutter. It's been parked on a tilt where this side's the one that takes the water, drips and pools right there and rusted out. So the single cabs and double cabs are really bad to do that. The doubles more so than the singles, I think, but that's just because of the nature of the way that they're joined together. So we'll get finished up on this, get this side sewed, and obviously I need to make my seams here down as well, and get that all together. And then all I've got left to do is make the panel piece that goes here and latches over and catches this side. I'm probably shooting you right into the camera. Try that over on this side. So there'll be a flap that comes over and actually attaches to this piece here. If you've ever paid any attention to these before online, that's the way that it works. So I'm copying those that I've seen online. So let me get this inside, get that sewed, and probably have to turn you back on tomorrow.